The poem begins at a busy corner of New York City, where streets, buildings, subway lines, and people meet. Although the setting is crowded and made of concrete and steel, the speaker imagines it as a village, a place where human beings can recognize one another and build a shared home. The gathering place is therefore both real and symbolic. It is a physical corner, but it also represents the possibility of belonging. Ideas, languages, memories, and hopes come together there, showing that a community is created when people make room for one another. The city is described as a living, dancing place rather than a collection of silent buildings. Subway cars move beneath the streets. Pedestrians follow the rhythm of daily life, and the sounds of work, music, conversation, and movement combine into one public beat. By calling the city a village, the poem changes the way we look at urban life. The crowd is not only a mass of strangers, it can become a neighborhood of possible relationships, where people listen, exchange energy, and create a shared rhythm even when their lives are different. The poem recognizes that some people feel shut out when spaces are narrow, doors are closed, or institutions do not seem ready to receive them. Yet the gathering place makes room for ideas. A voice is imagined as a boat that can travel across an open sea, carrying a thought farther than one person could carry it alone. When people speak and others listen, an individual idea becomes part of a community dream. The image suggests that communication is not decoration. It is a form of movement that can cross distance and create possibility. The gathering place expands beyond one street or one country. It brings continents, cultures, and languages into the same human circle. Instead of treating difference as a wall, the poem compares cultures to living seeds. Seeds carry memory and potential. When they are planted in welcoming soil, they can grow roots, branches, and new forms of life. This image celebrates cultural exchange without requiring people to abandon their identities. The shared world becomes richer because many histories and ways of speaking are allowed to grow together. The poem presents many kinds of people as builders of the gathering place. Artists use their voices to open the sky and make others imagine what is possible. Creators use technology and curiosity to design new spaces for learning and connection. Advocates speak for people who have been harmed and help build protection where silence once stood. These forms of work may look different, but each one adds a piece to the same structure. The roof of the gathering place is made from connected voices, and it becomes stronger when art, invention, and courage support one another. The community's hunger is larger than the need for food. The people also feel an appetite for goodness, justice, and meaningful change. This hunger gives energy to their actions. Their breath becomes hope, and their voices become a promise that the future is not something they must simply wait to receive. They can shape it through cooperation, care, and public responsibility. The poem therefore transforms ordinary human needs into a moral direction. People can use what they have, including their voices, to make life more generous and more just. The community eventually reaches a summit, a moment that suggests achievement and progress. However, the summit is not presented as a final destination. A new city and a new village are ready for another climb. This movement prevents success from becoming complacency. A community must keep learning, repairing, and imagining when new challenges appear. The next climb is not a demand for perfection. It is an invitation to continue together, because the path becomes more possible when people share effort, knowledge, and hope. The gathering place becomes a home, but not a home built only from walls and furniture. It is made from attention, unity, kindness, and useful action. The poem asks people to remain vigilant so that belonging does not become careless or exclusive. It asks them to stay united and to do good in practical ways. Cooperation makes the world feel smaller, not because differences disappear, but because distance becomes easier to cross. When people stand together, their dreams can grow larger, and the future no longer has to be postponed until some perfect tomorrow. The poem ends with a clear belief in the power of gathering. A community can change more than the people who happen to meet there. When people listen carefully, include others, create new possibilities, and act with goodness, a local place becomes part of a wider future. The gathering place is therefore both a home and a responsibility. It asks us to turn connection into action. The final message is hopeful but active. By building spaces where people belong and where good work is shared, we can help make the world a little better.